Good morning, students. The next one concept is Henry's law. The scientist Henry was give the quantitative relation between the pressure of gas, and also solubility of gas. The pressure of the gas and solubility of the gas, their relation is quantitatively explained by the Henry scientist. Then what is the Henry's law statement? So according to this Henry's law, the mass of the gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid at constant temperature is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas. That means you take one beaker. So this is the given volume of liquid. So we are sending the gas. This is the mass of gas. Mass of gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid at constant temperature. Here temperature is constant. Mass of gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid at constant temperature is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. That means here pressure of the gas is increased, the more mass of the gas is dissolved. Here pressure of the gas is decreased, less mass of the gas is dissolved. That means the mass of the gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid at constant temperature is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. That means the solubility of the gas in the liquid, is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. So based on this statement, so your mass of the gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas at constant temperature. That's why M is proportional to P. Therefore, M is equal to Kh into P. Here Kh is a Henry's law constant. Therefore, M by P is equal to Kh. So this is one of the definition. Then next one definition, this is one of the definition. And the second one definition is that is here also same. This is the beaker containing the liquid. So this is the gas. The mole fraction of gas. Okay. Here. Then what is the second one definition? The mole fraction of the gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid at constant temperature is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. Partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. That is called Henry's law. So once again, what is the second one definition? The mole fraction of the gas dissolved in this liquid at constant temperature is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. That means here the partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid is increased, the more mole fraction of the gas is dissolved in this liquid. Understand what I said? That means the partial pressure of the gas in vapor phase, is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas, means xi. Mole fraction of the gas is xi. That means the partial pressure of the gas over surface of the liquid increase, the more mole fraction of the gas dissolved in this liquid. That's why P is directly proportional to the xi. Xi means mole fraction. Then P is equal to Kh into xi. So this is the second one definition. So this is first one definition, that is second one. What is first one definition? The mass of the gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid at constant temperature is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. Means the solubility of the gas in the liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. That is first one definition, and this is formula. Then second one definition, the mole fraction of the gas dissolved in the given volume of liquid at constant temperature is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid. Means the partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase is increased, the more mole fraction of the gas is dissolved in this liquid. That's why the partial pressure of the gas in the vapor phase is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas. That's why P is proportional to the mole fraction. P is equal to Kh into X. Here Kh is a Henry's law constant. Okay. Then what is the partial pressure under Henry's law graph? Here the partial pressure of hydrogen chloride is taken in this y-axis. Mole fraction of HCl in the hexane, cyclohexane. Partial pair of the hydrogen gas taken in the y-axis. The mole fraction of hydrogen chloride in the cyclohexane taken in the y-axis. Sorry, mole fraction of HCl taken on the x-axis. Partial pair of HCl taken on the y-axis. Then we obtained the straight line. That means the mole fraction is increased. We obtained this type of straight line. The mole fraction is increased with the partial pressure. So this type of the line will obtain. So that is about the graph between the partial pair of the hydrogen chloride taken in the y-axis, mole fraction of HCl taken in the x-axis. So here 0, this is 500 atmosphere rather. So partial pair of HCl is 500. Here partial pair of HCl is 1000. Here mole fraction is 0.1. Here 0.2. So that is about the graph. Then next one is at what conditions the gas follow the Henry's law. That is next one. At what conditions the gas is obey the Henry's law. Then first one point is your pressure is not too high. Pressure is not too high, then only the gas is follow the Henry's law. The next one is temperature is not too low. Temperature is not too low. Temperature is not very too low, then only the gas will obey the Henry's law. The next one is gas does not undergo association and dissociation. With solvent. Gas does not undergo any association and dissociation with solvent. Next, the gas is not highly soluble. Gas is not highly soluble in this liquid. The last one is gas is not chemically combined with solvent. Gas is not chemically combined with solvent. So whenever the gas which follow this one condition, so the type of the gas will follow the Henry's law. So at what conditions the gas follow the Henry law means pressure is not too high, temperature is not too low, and the gas does not undergo any association dissociation with liquid. So at that time the gas follow the Henry's law. The next one is the gas is not chemically combined with solvent. So at that time that gas is follow the Henry's law. And last one is the gas is not highly soluble in that liquid. What are the important points for the Henry's law constant? Here the Henry's law constant is depending on the nature of the gas. Henry's law constant is Kh is depending on the depends on nature of gas. So depending on the nature of the gas, so the Henry's law constant is will change. Then second point, higher the Henry's law constant, lower the solubility of gas. Lower the solubility of gas. For example, A and B and C, two gases are there. Here for A gas, Henry's law constant is Kh value is 1.06. For B gas, Kh value is Henry's law constant is 2.3. For C, Henry's law constant is 0.08. So among these three gases, which of the following gas is highly soluble, and which of the following gas is less soluble? Just now I told you, the higher the Kh constant means Henry's law constant, lower the solubility of the gas. So higher the Kh value means this is B is, so higher the Kh value, then its solubility is what happen? Solubility is lower. Then lower the KH value, solubility is higher. Lower the KH value means 1.06 or 0.0. Which one is lower? C is lower. Lower the Henry's law constant, higher the solubility. Your solubility is higher, your solubility is lower. So higher the KH value, solubility is lower. Lower the KH value, solubility is higher. So that is about the second point. Then last one point is KH value is depends on the temperature. KH value depends on the temperature. If temperature increases, the Henry's law constant will be increased. That's why the KH value is depending on the temperature, change in temperature. So that is about the points of Henry's law constant. The next one is what are the Henry's law applications. The next one is applications of the Henry's law. Then see the four applications of the Henry's law. Then first one is the production of carbonated beverages. Once you see the production of carbonated beverages, so this one is for example you see the soft drinks and soda water. So this is the soft drink bottle or soda water bottle. Say liquid. So in soft drinks and soda water, the solubility of the carbon dioxide in that liquid is increased at high pressure. The solubility of CO2 gas in this liquid is increased with high pressure. If the pressure is more, the solubility of the CO2 in this liquid is increased. That's why these bottles, the means the soda bottles and also soft drink bottles are sealed at high pressure. So the bottles are sealed at high pressure. So after that, whenever the bottles are opened, the partial pair of the CO2 gas over the liquid is decreased. Whenever the bottles open, here the surface of the liquid CO2 pressure what happen decrease. Whenever the pressure decreases, the solubility of the CO2 in this liquid is decreased. So whenever the solubility of the CO2 decreases, this dissolved CO2 is bubbled out. That means it comes out in the form of bubbles. So that is about the production of carbonated beverages. So in this process, they are following the Henry's law. Means your pressure is increased, the solubility of the CO2 in the liquid is increased. Like that in soda water also, the pressure of the gas over the surface of the liquid increase, the solubility of the CO2 in the soda water also increase. Whenever the again bottles are open, the surface of the liquid, the partial pair of the CO2 decrease, the solubility of the CO2 is decreased. Again, the dissolved CO2 is comes out in the form of the bubbles. That is about the production of carbonated beverages. Then next second one is deep sea diving. Then next one is deep sea diving. Then see the next one is deep sea diving. Means for example this is a sea. So the scuba divers went to the sea waters, depth of the sea water. So this is the scuba divers went to the sea water, depth of the sea water. So whenever the scuba divers went to the depth of the sea water, so at that time the pressure has increased on these persons. The pressure is more at these conditions. Whenever the pressure is more, so here the person use the cylinder. So if the cylinder is filled with only air, then what happened? The scuba diver went to the sea waters. So whenever the person went to the depth of the sea water, at that time pressure is increased on that persons. Whenever the pressure is increased, that person take this what is that air. So generally, if the air is only air is taken in this cylinder, so at that time at high pressure, the person breathes the air. The air is contained in the both oxygen and nitrogen. But at a high pressure, what happens? The oxygen is more amount of oxygen dissolved in this blood. Whenever the oxygen dissolved in this blood, the dissolved oxygen is combined with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. That oxyhemoglobin used for the metabolic process. But what about the N2? So at high pressure, the N2 also dissolved in our blood. Again, the person comes to the surface. So at this condition, the pressure is decreased. Whenever the pressure decreases, the dissolved nitrogen gas is released in the form of bubbles. The dissolved nitrogen is removed from our body, so from our blood in the form of the bubbles. Whenever the bubbles are formed in our blood vessels, the nerves are impulsed. That means the capillary is blacked. Capillary tubes are blacks, and that it creates the medical condition. That condition is called bend. The disease is bend. So whenever this the person get this type of disease, bend like diseases, it causes the pain is happen and it is dangerous to the life. That's why the scuba divers use the cylinder. So that cylinder is filled with not only oxygen and hydrogen, it is diluted with helium also. So helium is 11.7% of helium in this helium gas used in this cylinder, and nitrogen is 56.1%, and oxygen is 56.2. Nitrogen, oxygen is 32.1% of oxygen is used. So whenever this the air is diluted with helium, so at the time the dissolution of nitrogen gas in our blood is what happened, decreases. So at the time this disease is not getting by that person. So that is about the second one. So your concept is your pressure is increased, the dissolution of nitrogen in our blood is increased. So it causes the person get the bend diseases. That's why your pressure is decreased, then automatically the dissolution of nitrogen in our blood what happened, decrease. So at the time the person didn't get the bend disease. That's why the air is diluted with oxygen, nitrogen and helium. That is about this. In this was second application. Then next one, third one application. So the peoples living at higher altitude, means the mountain climbers and the peoples which are living in the higher altitude. Then what happened? The peoples which are living in the higher altitude, for example, this is the mountains. So in this mountains here, peoples are living in this higher altitude. Their pressure of the air is less. Air pressure is less, decrease. Whenever the pressure of the air is decreases, so this type of the peoples breathe the less concentration of oxygen. Means in higher altitude, air concentration is decreased na. So that's why they are breathing the air, but in their blood the oxygen concentration decrease. Whenever the oxygen concentration decrease in these people, so it causes the person become weak and unable to think properly. So the type of the disease is called anoxia. Anoxia. So that is about the third one. What is the third one? People living at higher altitude. At a higher altitude, the concentration of the air is decreased. Whenever the concentration of the air decreases, the people which are living in the higher altitude, they are breathing the air, but the air containing the oxygen concentration is less. That's why the less concentration of the oxygen is dissolved in their blood. So it causes the persons become weak and they are unable to think properly. The type of the condition or disease is called anoxia. So that is about the, because of your pressure is decreases, the dissolution of oxygen in their blood is decreased. That is, and this last third one application. The next one is fourth one application, functions of the lungs. Then how to function the lungs? See here, for example, this is a person. Of the lung means, so generally the person breathes the air. So whenever the person breathes the air here in lungs, the oxygen pressure is increased. Whenever the oxygen pressure increases, here the more amount of oxygen is dissolved in our blood to form the oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin. So whenever the formation of oxyhemoglobin increases, the more amount of the oxygen is supplied to our blood cells or in our tissues and cells. Again, whenever the oxygen concentration decrease in these lungs, so whenever the oxygen concentration is decreased, that means the concentration of oxygen decrease in our lungs. So at that time the oxygen is released from the oxyhemoglobin. Again, oxygen released from this oxyhemoglobin. So that is the functions of the cells. So that is about the working of lungs.